Hello friends, I'm Coach Tom. This is lesson 2 of our beginner return series. So I want to thank you guys for coming out today. We're going to talk a little bit more about the return, give you a few little things that you need to know in terms of what you're trying to do with the return, and then I'm going to give you another drill to help you with your quickness, your speed, all that good stuff, getting you ready to move on to level 3 and playing some good strong matches. Okay, so we talked in lesson 1 about how to kind of turn, step, swing, keep it really small, about where to position in terms of your opponent's serve, all that good stuff, so you kind of know what to do with the return. At this point, really, in terms of hitting them, it's just getting out there and practicing them, just like you would your ground strokes. But what are we trying to do with the return? That's a really important thing to understand and know when we're playing this game. But I want to back up a little bit first and think about what really the return is. The return is a response to the serve, right? And the serve is really the only shot in tennis where a player has total and complete control, right? And what I see is I see too many players trying to hit returns and win the point outright off of that return, right? They think, well, I've got the serve coming in, I've got a freebie shot, I'm going to try to hit it as hard as I can, or place it right in the corner, whatever, and they end up missing more shots than they make. And the reason, again, is because that server has total and complete control over that first ball. Now, I know what you might be saying, that some of these serves come in, they're really soft, they're really small, they're really short, they're really whatever. Why can't I go ahead and tee off on that? Well, the reality is that it's hard to create power and pace and placement, all that stuff, off of kind of a dead Z ball, one that just kind of sits there, right? So we've got to work on those shots separately. But for now, the whole idea is that we just want to try to do one simple thing, and that's neutralize the server's advantage. Do you really think that if I'm your opponent, I'm going to give you such a weak serve that you can automatically, instantaneously, in one swing of the racket, completely change the tide of that point? Sure, maybe once in a while, but again, what ends up happening is that we miss more shots than we make, and now, as your opponent, I don't really have to worry about how good my serve is. If I'm hitting blooper serves in there that aren't very good and you're still missing the returns half the time, I'm just fine. I don't have to worry about it. There's no pressure on me at all. But if you can hit a good, deep cross-court return that just kind of backs me up and neutralizes me, well, now you've taken away my advantage. You've taken away everything I had going for me on that serve, and now we're back to even again. Okay, so again, we're going to try to hit cross-court. We're going to try to hit deep, ideally past that service line. But again, all you really want to do is to keep your serving opponent neutral in that point, right? If you look up and that player has an advantage, they're stepping in, they're getting ready to crack that ball, that's not the return you want to hit. You want to see them either standing still, backing up, whatever you can do, but don't let them step in. That is your only goal when you're hitting returns. Trying for anything more than that is just going to cause too many unforced errors. Okay, so you guys remember the big thing, neutralize your opponent. Let's take a quick look at a drill. I've got my friend coming out. She's going to hit that ball a little bit harder this time, so I'm going to have to shorten my swing up a little bit more. What you'll notice is that I'm going to actually turn and use my legs a little bit, right? So I'm here, I'm going to step and turn. My legs are really what's going to drive that shot. It's not going to be my hands. The more my hands are moving, the more I'm swinging, the less consistency and control I'm going to have, and that's going to cause me to make more unforced errors. Okay, so have your partner stand kind of close to the net, maybe on the service line, so they're making more of these serves. If they're comfortable, they can be back on the baseline, hitting them consistently, but the idea here is that you're practicing your return. They're not practicing their serve, although that is an ancillary benefit of this, right? But the idea is they're hitting serves, you're hitting returns. So have them stand up at the net, on the service line, whatever, so that they're making them pretty consistently. And again, shorten that backswing, punch, use your legs to drive that ball. High, deep cross-court balls. That's your goal. The last thing I want to remind you guys of, again, we talked about it in lesson 1. Make sure we're practicing those backhand returns just as much as we are our forehands. It's a little trickier, but just get a good turn, right? And step towards your target. If I'm standing here and I'm trying to hit a backhand return, that's not going to work. I've got to actually turn, step, and move towards where I want that ball to go. However, if you have a backhand return that you're not super comfortable with, okay, it happens, I get it. We need to practice that. But in the meantime, the one thing I don't want you guys doing, I don't want you guys sliding all the way here to the middle of the court hoping that you get a forehand, because what that tells me as your opponent is that you can't hit a backhand, right? So make sure that even if you don't love that backhand return, you still set up in the middle, and then once that person serves, you can kind of slide over a little bit to favor that forehand. But don't show me that you don't know how to hit a backhand return. That's just giving away too much. Okay, so check out that drill, you guys. Check out how we're hitting those returns. Send me your comments, send me your questions. Let me know what we're doing Let me know how we can work on this together and get you guys ready for lesson 3. As always, I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Okay guys, back out here with Emily. We're in our lesson 2 drill now. It's the same as lesson 1. The difference is now I'm trying to get that ball to go past the service line and ideally cross court. So I'm a little bit more concerned with where that ball ends up. I'm no longer okay with just getting it over the net. I want to put that ball deep into the court and ideally cross court if I can. So in order to do that, I'm going to lean my racket back just a little bit, and I'm going to give myself a little bit more energy by stepping into my swing, not by slapping at it with my arm.